I'm looking for a red dress for the red dress run.
It's something Stephen Moore probably never thought he'd say.
Do you have a preference?
No, it's something that's gonna make me look not too big.
But he's new to the city.
It's classic New Orleans. That's exactly what I thought.
What about material-wise or anything?
Really, I have no preference. I've never bought a dress before.
Right.
And he's not the only guy shopping for his first dress right now.
How do you feel about this?
I don't hate it.
It's a quick stop into Miss Claudia's vintage clothing and costumes.
I could definitely be seen in that.
And he's realizing
I like it.
he's probably a little pickier with his dress selection than he thought.
Not so much. I'm not crazy
so
about
you
that.
have a preference.
Looks like something my grandma would wear.
Of course, you have to try a few on.
Do a little shimmy? How do you feel in it?
You know, I feel weird in it.
Maybe give it a twirl.
Should I do the Michael Jackson?
Some like plain dresses, simple dresses. Some want to be really frilly.
There are still racks full of red dresses here at Miss Claudia's, but this is only about a fourth of what's left from about 2 weeks ago. The majority of the customers, guys, buying their first red dress.
Well, there's a flurry of men coming in looking for every kind of dress that you could imagine.
Oh boy. I think it's pretty flattering.
Every shopper is looking for something different.
You know, I like that it shows off my chest hair, actually.
For Stephen, third time's the charm.
I think this might be the one I go with.
And now he's ready to strut in his new dress,
This is comfy. I could see me running in this.
alongside hundreds in the red dress run. In New Orleans, Erica Ferrando, Eyewitness News.
I was rooting for the fringe one. Well, we spoke with Goodwill Industries, and just days ago, they had racks of dresses at all of their locations in the New Orleans area. But as of this morning, they are wiped clean, and they say a majority of shoppers buying those red dresses have been men.